All right, guys. So today I wanted to talk about a potential little brother to SPX 6900, one of the top meme coins we would expect of this current cycle, a cycle that we think is really going to heat up with the altcoin dominance improving possibly the fall into the early winter months, the holiday season, retail entering, maybe a Christmas avalanche when it comes to the meme coins. Maybe a similar setup if you guys remember the 2017 2018 bull run. That was my first bull run, but we're still looking for the elusive 100x, 1000x. I almost had it with SPX, and I'm going to talk a little bit about SPX, but really the coin that I'm highlighting here is Nasdaq420, which is a coin that I first became aware of probably around maybe after Thanksgiving. And I'm going to talk about it, but first I'm going to talk about the meta of the SPX 6900 and stock to meme in general. So, first off, SPX, it is the daddy. We know this. And guys, I did buy SPX 6900 back when it was only around. I mean, you can see what it had done. It had a long price history. Unfortunately, the market cap really wasn't tracked all that long, but I had bought it when it was around $2 or $3 million market cap. Unfortunately, I sold it. I'm not even kidding you. In September of 2024, right before the boom, like September 7th, which was right before. But we know SPX 6900 was sitting at, even when you go to September, it was sitting at 6, 7, 8 million. And within a few months, within 4 or 5 months, it was at 2.2, $2.3 billion. And so now it is sitting, because some of it was burned, sitting over $1, but it is under $1 billion in terms of market cap, with people saying, well, this is a coin that's probably going to go to 20 billion, 30 billion. Think about what that money influx and the money flow is going to do to some of the other stock to meme coins. And the number one for me is NASDAQ 420. And the main reason is because they already do have a good build up in terms of their Telegram, their chart. The issue is you'd like the coin to be a year old, maybe a year and a half old to get more price history. But this is when you think of the stock market, when you think of indexes, you think of S&P, you think of NASDAQ. NASDAQ is more aggressive. It has a better multiple in terms of price history. And I'm not saying NASDAQ 420 is going to beat out SPX 6900, but to me, when you look at all the stock to memes, you could say, well, the MicroStrategy coin, MicroStrategy 2100, I believe it's higher, pretty significantly higher in terms of market cap than the NASDAQ 420, which is right now a little bit low at 1.3 million. It did reach around 15 million, and it's kind of held its own around 1.2, 1.3 million the past 2.5 months or so. But I just think the NASDAQ, to me, NASDAQ 420 fits more into the whole SPX 6900 narrative. And so that's why I think NASDAQ, I'm not saying it's the next to where it's going to usurp SPX, but I think NASDAQ 420 will hopefully go to at least six figures, so over 100 million, which would be around 10 cents. And then if SPX goes to 20 or $30, could you imagine that what it would do to NASDAQ? You would think there'd be money flow into it. I don't think there's too many markets for it. Yeah, it's really not on much right now. I mean, that's with no listings. Imagine when NASDAQ 420 starts moving in terms of price, and then you get the organic centralized exchange listings, and it's seen as kind of like the brother to SPX. People might disagree. They might say the MicroStrategy 2100. They might say another coin like the VIX 777, but I think it is NASDAQ 420. And I'm not saying it's going to do 1000x, but you never know. I mean, if it goes to $1, 1.3 million to $1 billion, we wouldn't expect it to happen right now, considering SPX isn't even at $1 billion. But imagine SPX, what it did. We saw the crazy multiples. I mean, the difference is the build up to the SPX move. It was already sitting at a higher market cap. I mean, it did have a few days where it was around 2 million, but majority it was sitting around, 7, 10, 12, 13 million, and then it made its big move. To be fair to NASDAQ, I mean, NASDAQ did hit around 15 15 million in terms of market cap, but that was its high, and it was able to maintain for a few weeks a market cap of at least around 7 or 8 million. And now it's at 1.3. Not financial advice, but I do think it's a good entry right now for Nasdaq420. And if you believe in the stock to meme narrative, if you believe in SPX going to do another, I mean, if it's sitting at like, what is the exact price of it right now? $1.02. You could be looking at another 20x from here. And imagine what that would do to a really low cap. I wouldn't call it a micro cap because it's over $1 million, but it's a very low cap in Nasdaq420. SPX6900, Nasdaq420. It's a yin, it's a yang. It's S&P 500, it's Nasdaq 100 in real life. The volatility of the Nasdaq, it's more aggressive, it's outperformed S&P. I'm not going to say that it's the same, it's apples to apples, it's not, but we can understand they're brothers in real life. Why would this not mimic it? And I know it's, with crypto it's different, and with meme coins it's different, but I do think there is a chance that Nasdaq420 could, in a way, mimic SPX 6900 in terms of its move. This is its overall chart. You can see at 1.37 right now. It's had a tough week or so. It did move back up to around 2.5 million, but overall it's kind of been pretty steady the past, I don't know, 2.5 months since early March. So I think Nasdaq420 is going to be the ultimate beta play to SPX. It just fits, it works, and it's on Ethereum just like SPX. It's not on Solana. And if SPX, we know recently, the past month, it's made a move of a 2x basically. I mean, it did go over $1 billion for a day and a half. And if it's around $1 billion right now with the Bitcoin dominance where it is, and Bitcoin hovering around 105, 110K, imagine what happens when Bitcoin goes to 150K and we see that money flow into the altcoins and the alt dominance goes up and you've got SPX. The problem with the Nasdaq420 is it's not going to have the influencer support that SPX does, which, I mean, we don't need it to. That's the thing, is we don't need it to have that support. We just need it to be the number one beta to SPX. And if that happens, then you're talking about a movement of 100 million, 200 million, 300 million. That's 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. And that's when you get the generational moves. And that would be the hope when it comes to the Nasdaq420. So listen, I hope SPX goes to $20, $30, $50. I hope it reaches 100 billion in terms of market cap, which is over $100 because they burned 70K coins. I don't know if they burned any coins in the NASDAQ. I guess not. But yeah, I think Nasdaq420 is the beta. If it is the beta and SPX does what many people and many top influencers think it's going to do, which is another 20x, another 50x from here, the money flow into Nasdaq420, I do think it's bridged to Solana. I'm not sure if it's bridged to base yet, but there will be serious money flow.